So, how are we going to get this? What's about our 7-step plan? Step number 1, you've got this idea, you've got this business, but can you tell me in 60 seconds or less what it is you do, and more importantly, what it is you can do for me? Now, let me give you an example. I walk up to this lady, I put out my hand and I say, "Good morning, ma'am. My name is Mike Sade." And she gives me this really nice big smile, but in her head she says, "So what?" And I said, "You know what? I've got a business called Brand Strategy." And she says, "So what?" "I've got clients all over the country. I'm wonderful." She says, "So what?" Then I say to her, "If you give me 15 minutes of your time, I can turn your whole business around for you." And she says to me, "Please sit down." You see, first of all, I have to tell her what I can do for her. Before I tell her what I can do, and before I tell her who I am and how important I am in my own life. So how can you tell your clients what problem they have that you can solve for them? So how do you do this? It's quite simple. You have to start off by writing what's known as your elevator pitch, also known as your brand positioning statement. Quite simply, I'm going to use an example of one of my clients. His name is Jonathan, and Jonathan teaches people to speak in public. Jonathan teaches people to speak in public. So his elevator pitch, first of all, I ask him, who is your target market? And in his particular case, it's to people who need to be able to speak in public or at work. You need to understand who your target market is, because as a small business, that is where you're going to spend all your money. Once you've done that, we need to know what it is that these people are seeking. What is their problem? There is a lot of money for small businesses to be made in solving other people's problems. So next thing, write out what it is that your target market's seeking. Once you've done that, give them what it is that you offer. I offer professional assessment and ongoing training. And then finally, the reason to believe. Why should they believe the statement that you've made? And that statement is, I have 10 years experience in coaching and mentoring of speakers. Now, this is known as his elevator pitch. If he got in the elevator and someone turned to him and said to him, "What exactly do you do?" he could tell them in 60 seconds or less exactly what he could do for them and why they should believe him. And it's very, very important. If you can please write this about your business, it'll change everything. You'll wake up every morning, you read it, you'll understand your target market. So use your thing. Exercise number 1 today, write your own elevator pitch. Write your 2, write your seeking, write your I offer, and write your reason to believe. And after you've done it, if you're not sure, if you think you might not have got it right, you drop me an email with your statement on it, and I will send you some comments on it with the greatest of pleasure. My email address will come up right at the end.